It should be okay.
All right, that's it for us. Let's go on over to Joseph Naisu Rezabek and Alexandra Brigida Ramos.
Thank you so much for Renmar, Santa Cruz, and the panel once again for breaking it down. In this matchup that we had ahead of us, it's going to be a brawl here. Brigida, once again, I'm Naisu, and this is Brigida, and we're here to bring you the last match, the last best of 3 that we have for you guys here at day 2 for MWI at EWC. Brigida, what do you think of the drafts here?
I'm thinking that teams are starting to really pick up on other teams and the strategies that they've been showing us so far. This is the second task that I'm seeing for today. Earlier, it nearly got the win.
Yeah.
But this is ONIC we're talking about. And even in the previous matches we saw them play, it really doesn't seem like they care that much about the sequencing and all that. It's just that they want to go for whatever they want to pick, and they have this plan in mind to go with it.
Yeah, it's funny how it works too. The Zask, dropping down the little Johnny, I was like to call it, helps with the leash to start things off early on. So Sev gets this very minor advantage in terms of rotation to go ahead and work with. Oh, whoa, Navilera getting poked down quite a bit. This is the strength of a Hilda, though, that we've actually seen a couple of times already, though, mid lane.
Oh, actually very low. Sev joins in, though, and gets first blood against Nora. So just as we thought what Esports was getting the slight advantage in that fight, Sev was actually there.
Yeah, again, we'll take a quick look at the emblems here. First blood on the board for ONIC, though. And that's the thing you want to watch out for. Yippee especially, very aggressive up here in this matchup. 1-1 versus the Beatrix.
Yeah, he seemed to wait for that perfect opportunity and timing to use the Inspire because it's a common trend for 1-1s in the early game, but that's a surprise. So Livy, even though yes, that's a Zaz, you would expect that the spawns would be placed in areas which would potentially keep her safe. That did not happen. She was taken out in the mid lane, and now Sif might just be next. There's the Revitalize, however, but then with Esports, they've been playing the early game pretty well.
This is what we heard about them, their matches yesterday that were on Stream B. We know that they like to fight, kind of ignore objectives if they have to, and just duke it out. So you're seeing that aggression early on. ONIC the same, but no. Valera might be in trouble. Sev here to help this out with Ohana taking quite a bit of damage. She's going to have to actually flicker on out, too. This all fight for that first turtle. Looks like ONIC trying to get control of it. Not entirely their favor just yet. Quite tanky here for FUT Esports.
Everyone's so poked down already, and the fight or the actual turtle fight hasn't even started just yet, but it might just start now. Fury of the Phoenix already committed, and there's the title strike committed onto Nora as well. Now they actually get to fight on their terms. It seems like ONIC were just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Mireia, how did she get out of this? She does not.
That's a 3-0 already for Sev on the Suyo. That is going to be difficult to deal with if she continues to snowball like this. And again, you always kind of remember that when that Suyo does come into play in a match, the amount of mobility, the amount of kind of finesse that hero can actually bring to a match, to catch people or to escape with the kit of Suyo is tough to deal with in general. Now, if you snowball on top of that, it gets even more troublesome like this.
Oh, speaking of snowball, this is another kill going into the hands of Sev, making that an early 4-0 KDA. Dominator's Descent committed onto Mako, but somehow gets to reposition. They will not be fighting ONIC right now, but that's enough space. ONIC just simply wants to go for the turret.
Power with the emotes here too, just showcasing how tanky that she can be, even with this passive with the Ganakacha and the Revitalize. We've seen that be clutch in a couple of the early skirmishes already. Gekko might be in trouble here, though, if they actually commit to this.
But they're going after Mireia instead.
Oh, no.
Now they try to burst down the Fredrin, and they successfully do. But look at that. Navilera joins the fight as well. Crossbow of attack committed by Yippee. But the damage might not be enough just yet. Mako gets a trade onto Livian Pogo. Navilera left alone. And Nora with a tidal strike. They take down 3 from ONIC.
I guess Navilera thought, she could handle it, or at least the rest of the team would be there. But Unfortunately, they got cut off too from the response from FUT Esports. We'll take a look at the instant replay, exactly how this played out. Again, they find the target, Zendaya goes down from the crossbow of Tang too, but they choose to fight under this tier 2 turret. They do burn a couple of flickers, but again, Yippee couldn't actually enter that side of the turret because it was already gonna basically take her out if she committed to that. So again, you know, maybe a little bit of a mistake and an overstep from MWI, but still, nonetheless, they hold on to a 1K gold lead. Turtle, second one of the game, is now up, and FUT Esports will go ahead and focus on the buff here. They are probably just gonna go ahead and fight this out. You can see the rotation already being called in. Yippee making her way down. She picked up the Haas claw, so she's got that bit of sustainability now, if she can actually get some of these hits off here. But this might be a hard one. Nora doesn't have a flicker, so she can't force that combination with the Tsunami Slam. All this, once again, for the objective, the focus. Yippee just poking down Mieko, so very aggressive, but they might have control of this Brigada.
There goes the curtain call and the AOG combo, and Seb successfully takes the turtle before they commit into this fight. Dominator's Descent is also there as well, but the penetrate, the damage isn't much just yet. Navillera still trying to chase after Mieko, but the passive, Zendaya somehow saves their gold laner. Uno Hana, though, is left alone here, but will be able to reposition under the turret.
Not much Uno Hana can do there. Just taking a gander at what's going on, the aftermath of that fight, unfortunately. She's gonna poke down Libby though. Oh, okay, never mind. She can do what she wants to do.
Now she's actually able to do something. That was a trade that took long enough for FUT Esports, but at least they didn't go out of that fight empty-handed. Now Sev successfully takes a turret, which kind of doubles the advantage ONIC was able to take in the past few minutes. Oh, never mind. Triple that. They were able to get that top lane turret too.
Flicker burn too in the mid lane from Zendaya, so that's the power once again of the, you know, just the pokes that even Suyo can showcase here. So a lot of space. Jumps to safety.
No way.
She's fine.
She's still able to get out of that. I mean, I guess they already committed like majority of their crowd control. Wasn't able to chain it in a way that could deny her of the AOG though, but the fight might still proceed here. Uno Hana is the target, and the crossbow of Tang. FUT Esports, they should be thanking this wall, because if it weren't for that wall, Yippee still could have went in, but Mieko somehow falls. Sev commits right onto the turret. There's still the Dominator's Descent as well, but then Libby, she might get punished here. Fortunately though, is able to get away.
On top of that, Yippie's gonna pick up the Malefic gun, so a little extra range, but I don't even know if they need that range. They seem to just choose the fights everywhere, even under the turret.
Wait a minute. Even though there was a slight disconnect, they were able to bring down Navillera under the turret, so they get to secure the kill. Yippee though might just be the next target for Uno Hana, but there are several members of ONIC trying to keep her safe. They're able to ride away the members of FUT Esports. Now Sev is currently godlike. Uno Hana still gets to survive, but Mireya might not, and is taken down as well by ONIC. Yippee still trying to go for it, but will respect the damage of FUT Esports for now.
This is a fight. We've got 8 minutes in. Just a back and forth between these skirmishes, this full-on team fights that eventually go in the favor of ONIC because of how they approach the fights. It's FUT Esports really trying to, you know, find these moments where they get these windows of opportunity. But again, as the instant replay, we see this. The crossbow of Tang is set up perfectly, and then transitioning into this fight where they have control. They can't catch Yippee because of the movement, but also in the jungle right now. Power's taken out.
It's been brawls here and there for both ONIC and FUT Esports. They're not stopping, and I feel like FUT Esports, somehow they're still doing a great job. They're trying to keep up with the way ONIC is playing this aggressively, because that kind of denies ONIC of just immediately going for the conversions, because then FUT Esports, they just keep trying to force fights. And it's not like they can't keep up. They somehow find ways to answer back, but it's just that ONIC, they seem to be the team who gets to execute the team fights a lot more better whenever it does break out.
I think one of the difficult things here for FUT Esports is to really catch Yippee, and then it's kind of they have to focus on either that or Sev, because both of them just have so much mobility to work around with here.
Was that the right choice? Carrera committed the curtain pull onto Zendaya, and now she's the first to get taken out, but the crossbow of Stacks. We're already there. Yippee, though, the damage might not just be enough.
Nora.
So FUT Esports, Nora jumps in. They might want to proceed with the fight, but
Sev
for
in the back.
now, they have to acknowledge the presence of Sev, and they will just try to defend this turret.
Takes a shot too. You saw the angle Seth came through, and you don't have anything to do but respond with a flicker. So that battle spell being burnt down. 20 seconds away from the Lord here. The Valera is going to be back up. Wind of Nature now picked up for a defensive item for Yippee. So they will go ahead and make their way to get in positioning here. As we take a quick look as well for FUT Esports. Again, they're not, I wouldn't say it's too much of a ask to see them try to contest. If they really wanted to, they could probably approach that fight, but one of the biggest parts of it is, again, if they get caught out, and you can see this, the blitz on the Lord, they plan to just take that tier 1, it looks like. So they just go for the tier 1. FUT Esports will get ready for the defense here. But still, I think the biggest thing is Nora. Nora is trying to get these pickups, right? Trying to use the Tsunami Slams. But the problem is once that's used, it's like she's automatically going to go down, right? And then once she's gone, the rest of the team has to rely on who? Una Hannah, maybe Mirai on the Fredrin, if she can help that. But even so, as tanky as they're supposed to be, they're just kind of overloaded.
And another thing to worry about is, I guess, Nora, I mean, at this point only has the Oracle based on the last time we saw the item, so there's no Radiant Armor whatsoever, but still, they successfully go for it. They set up, there's the Fury of the Phoenix committed as well, but the crossbow of Tang already takes her down, just as mentioned here by Naisu, an immediate -1 for FUT Esports.
I said, Nora, that is a tough position to be in. She knows she has to do that, but as soon as she does, she's gone. So now the shield's gonna pop in the mid. Next focus here is the top. They should still be able to hold on though to the base turrets unless something goes really wrong here again. Dominator's Descent isn't used, so trying to hold on to that mid lane.
It's just the curtain call for now. They're not gonna fully commit. There's still other waves coming in from the top lane as well, and this is gonna be a very successful take for ONIC Philippines. They took out 2. I said Philippines, but the crossbow of Tang once again coming in from Yippee. Unohana's the only casualty they got from that fight, but they got 2 inhibitor turrets alongside that.
They might look to end it here. I mean, they got a wave pushing in. There's the AOG.
Finally, they use it, but the title strike to somehow deny power of the aggression. But look at that! Sev immediately taking out 2. The Fury of the Phoenix might just save for Esports, but it's a triple after all. Coming in from Livy. Zendaya did her best though, and might have just somehow prolonged this fight.
Might have prolonged it. Again, Yippee is still up. She's gonna go ahead and stay in the base here, but I don't think she can push this in. Whoa!
How was Yippee able to do that? And she got the stacks again! Unohana falls, and now, currently, Yippee, legendary, putting an end to game number 1.
Today, we've seen these gold laners make the decisive decision to go forward and end things if they have to. This time around, it's Yippee from ONIC here. And even with that, what a phenomenal game overall. 10,000 nearly gold lead that they held on to in a quick game. And it looked like, again, you know, in some moments, FUT Esports, they were willing to brawl it out. They were willing to fight in a lot of those moments early on, all the way to the late game.
They actually were. Like, they barely let an entire minute or 2 pass without any team fights happening. And it's just so unfortunate, but the confidence was there. So easy, right?
Let's see what our studio panelists have to say about game number 1.
All right, people weren't kidding. FUT Esports loves to brawl. They love to fight. And ONIC, they matched that. They didn't just focus on the macro. They said, we will fight you. Yes, we'll trade a lot, but we'll win the objective takes.
And that's the thing, right? Because even though we saw that aggression coming through from FUT, it felt like the gold disparity didn't really reflect what we were looking at on screen. I think a big highlight goes on to Sev. Despite all that aggression, that damage coming through from the early stage of the game from FUT, she still remained consistent with her farming pattern, was still able to get the neutral objectives down, and eventually in these other neutral objective takes that happened after, I think, around first turtle, she still had an exceptional amount of XP gap amongst the junglers.
And the fact that I love how ONIC just mirrors out the team and be able to actually outplay themselves. That's the point of it. When it comes to that, the team was able to read out, you want to play brawl? We play brawl, but we'll do it even better. And that's how the team was just having a hard time by FUT Esports even try to fight it out.
Nothing too crazy here in the emblem selections. Very run-of-the-mill. Of course, you saw Mieko try to, similar to a lot of the Beatrixes that we've seen here and there in the past few months, picking up the Master Assassin to just see if they can get an early lead. But yet again, Yippee continues to shine. She continues to be golden here for MWI. 0 deaths, and the same goes for Sev. The two main damage dealers for ONIC were untouchable.
Yeah, unable to be taken down, which was quite interesting because you would think that with the Kalea being picked after the 1-1, you would think that the Kalea would have a lot more opportunities to take the 1-1 down because the 1-1 naturally would not be able to pick up Purify. And yet, even in that particular scenario, it didn't look like Nora was able to find that ground-breaking tsunami slam either way. Was it like target allocation that was a little off, or did you think that ONIC were the ones to kind of make sure that that never happened?
Well, I think quite clearly. I don't know about you, Fasha, but for me, it was like FUT Esports definitely could have picked their moments better.
I agree with the latter one. I think that ONIC was just doing a really good positioning. They see like, you're not gonna touch Yippee. No way at all. We had like Zas with so much stun. You had Gato Kacha with the avatar of the Guardian just guarding it out, especially with the fact that Zap is just doing well. You can sustain on her own to a point that Team FUT Esports couldn't do anything to break those front lines.
Yeah, and to be fair with how ONIC played with Livy, Navilera, and even Poe all sharing 4 deaths, and with the two main damage dealers being untouchable, it shows in the numbers for ONIC that, okay, Poe, Livy, Navi, you're going to be up front, you're going to be taking the deaths, but just make sure that our main damage dealers are alive and we're going to be okay. And I think maybe that's what surprised FUT Esports. The moments where I had a very vocal reaction of like, Nora, why would you decide to go for that target? But in her eyes, it looks like it was a good target. But no, ONIC were just using their key members as bait.
Exactly, because in that particular game, I was like, Navilera, why are you always so forward? Why are you going a little too aggressive when there's no backup? But it turns out that was exactly the plan, right? As soon as Navilera comes down, unfortunately, FUT Esports came in with a composition that was so reliant on resources. So once all those resources were all baited out to take down Navilera, then we see that Yippee was able to fly with the crossbow of Tang and deal out the damage on the important members. And I think that happened over and over and over again.
And the fact that they've been allowing Unohana to do, say like, you know what, let's just be us 4, we can take care of ourselves. But then Unohana was all alone. They needed that backup. You know, they were depending on Unohana to do those, at least push on her own lane. But then again, it was not enough. You need that Unohana. You need Unohana's Hilda to make sure that you can sustain at that most time. And those are the crucial things about FUT Esports was just overlooked.
Yeah. Very clearly by the end of the game, ONIC were making SN bank, but FUT Esports were making money as well, just through sheer volume of kills in the game that they were getting. And I'm surprised, I rarely get to see that, but you see it just really hits a point of diminishing returns on the amount of kills you're getting and trading, that at some point you're gonna have to take the lead, and if until you don't have the lead, you really cannot give deaths anymore.
That's why we were so concerned about that, right? Okay, we know that this is a team that is aggressive. This is a team that knows where to look for the resources. The big question is, where is the conversion going to happen? We didn't see that in game number 1. I hope, again, that gets repaired through game number 2 if they're looking to force a game number 3 from ONIC.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, definitely. Because again, this is all about how they want to actually put out for the next one. Because brawl-wise, again, you've done it yesterday. It was successful. This is the same storyline that we talked about when it comes to Team Falcon. Are you going to keep on with the same draft, or is it a time for you to adapt and change things around?
Yeah, a little bit of nugget of wisdom here in my very here and sporadic experiences with being able to consult for teams. It's a very important, nice little quote that I learned in the past. The question is not why do we fight? The question is what is worth fighting for.
Ooh.
Right? So maybe maybe in just a bit, we're gonna discuss a little bit more about the previous game, but I think we have a very important report from Rose right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Reporter Hit. You are still here with Rose. Now, over at Stream B, we have just wrapped up a pretty long series of 2-1. And unfortunately, WoW GG's journey in MWI ends here today. However, I actually have a very charming and still happy Ayami with me. Hello, Ayami. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, now Ayami, I know it is your first time in MWI. Maybe you could share a little bit about your experience here with us.
Okay. This stage is my first ever stage, like MWI. It's so, and I gained so much experience. I made a lot of great friends, and that's it. It's it's so hot in here. Like I'm burning. Oh, it's so hot. And I come back next year and strong.
Yes, we hope to see you come back again stronger. Yes, I hope to see you again next year, okay, Ayami? Now, maybe just one final thing. Now, this one, I want you to say it in your dialect, in your local tongue, okay? Is there anything you want to say to all the fans back at home?
Yeah, бага. Тэгэхээр энэ хүртэл ингээд дэмжиж ирсэн, энэ хүртэл ингээд үзээд дэмжиж сууж байгаа хүмүүстээ маш их баярлалаа. Манай багийг дэмжиж байгаад баярлалаа. Энэ жил ингээд анхны тэмцээн ингээд ер нь бол MWI-ийн тэмцээн дээр ингээд стейж дээр ингээд байж байгаа гэдэг бол үнэхээр амар том бахархал миний хувьд ингээд Монгол улсаа төлөөлөөд дараа жил ч гэсэн ер нь бол буцаж гарч ирээд бүр илүү хүчтэйгээр ингээд Монгол улсынхаа нэрийг бүр илүү өндөрт өргөх гэж хичээнэ. Тэгэхээр ингээд энэ хүртэл дэмжиж ирсэнд баярлалаа. Дараагийн тэмцээнд маань амжилт хүсээрэй. Баярлалаа. Гэрээгэндээс амар их баярлалаа. Bye.
Oh, so cute. No, I'm pretty sure Ayami is saying thank you for all the love and support that you guys are pouring in from the home country. Now, actually, Ayami told me she has an announcement today.
I said yes.
She is engaged. You know what? She may have lost the match today, show your ring. But she definitely won at something else. Now, look at that bling. Congratulations, Ayami. I hope you have an amazing married life coming ahead. Up next, we have Dream Max Gaming going up against Rising Rage. And with that, let us right back to the panel.
That, I think, is one of the biggest plot twists of MWI 2025. Ayami, thank you for the effort that you showed here in the tournament, but congratulations on the engagement.
That's so cute. Yeah. I don't think it's just MWI this year. Sorry, Fasha, but I think it's MWI history. I don't think we ever saw that on broadcast.
A proposal on the broadcast, like somebody being proposed
like from the girls.
Wait, did she get proposed to while she was here, or was that did she?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, or did she come here and she was already engaged? I feel like we need to know more.
Because the storyline could be like, you know,
context.
like if you could lost the match, but you win someone's heart. You win.
Aww.
You know.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to the analytical stuff later. Please bear for 1 minute of what is now a relationship podcast on broadcast. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
I live vicariously with the happiness of around people. Okay, that's all. Okay.
I got nervous for a bit because Renmar, as he was saying that, he was looking at me. Oh, I was like,
wait, what? Why?
Why?
I wasn't looking at you.
No, as in like, are you gonna ask me when I'm going to? Well, that's gonna happen to me. Like, please,
Oh,
not on
I
broadcast.
didn't even think about that. Oh, look at that. Someone added something into our run of show. Hey, so Eternal, when are you gonna... No, well, I'm not gonna do that to you. Folks, the draft is gonna show up in just a few minutes. So I think for FUT Esports, I am gonna be the guy going, keep it up. Keep fighting. But again, remember the question, what is worth fighting for? Pick your battles just a little bit more cleanly.
I mean, yeah, because the fact is, the moment that you keep on using the same draft, the same gameplay, or even the same mindset itself, this is where the fine line that you're stuck in a rut. You're definitely stuck in a rut, and you're not doing anything to fix or even improvise itself to fight off with not just ONIC, but the rest of the teams if you're ever going to meet off or able to go into another lane.
Yeah. If you want to take a good step forward, you gotta bring your best foot forward.
Elimination for a real fight.
What did you eat for breakfast, Renmar?
I
don't
want to
remember.
do.
You're on a roll.
We are in the same hotel, of course.
But doesn't
It's the
mean that I take the same food though. I have my own choice.
I take everything. Okay, so Joy and Phovius gets taken away by
Okay.
FUT Esports here. And the Kalea and the Yisun Shin. Are these, excuse me, please help me jog my memory. Are these the same bands?
No.
The two teams? Okay.
Kalea
I mean,
was
and-
not banned
Yeah,
in that
at least-
previous game,
yeah.
right? It was let through. So we're looking at a particular shade of respect coming through from ONIC here onto FUT, denying that away because technically this is one of the heroes that she has picked alongside the Gatot. So if the Gatot gets contested, well, the Gatot's actually banned out. So we're going to be seeing a debut pick in for Nora.
I mean, the fact that they put like a respect as well. Like, okay, so we have ONIC respecting the Kalia, even though it wasn't really that successful on the first run. But then again, they want to make sure that no, you're not going to be able to go to the back lane. We're going to make sure that you at least have the least amount of pools of heroes for your own choice. But at the same time, when it comes to FUT Esports, they also put a respect on the line as well with that Gato Gacha. I mean, talking about how it was so defensive. It was to a point that there was nothing that FUT Esports could do.
Okay, so with the Kalea ban, it's ONIC showing that we do have something that we really want to protect and we don't want easy access to. But then again, we have to go back to what we mentioned about ONIC yesterday in their near religious devotion to controlling the center of the map and the river. We got to see FUT contest that, and the Kalea did somewhat slow it down to a certain extent.
Payback
Just to a certain extent. But FUT Esports go with the arguably most contested pick right now in the Uranus, and hey, it's a Farsa and Badang for ONIC.
So now we know that obviously ONIC will have tools to kind of make do with that mid highlights. Can we call it that? Mid highlight coming in from this particular team. The Farsa is going to have a good time in the early stages of the game. I'm wondering how they're going to be able to contest against the Farsa. We've seen a Zetian kind of play into the Farsa. We've seen some Yves who technically is able to clear a little bit faster considering the cooldowns to her skills that are a lot quicker as compared to the Farsa. So that is something that they can consider. Now with the Uranus pick up, maybe we're looking at the Wanwan. Essentially, the Wanwan is still available. Oh wait, but the Irrital is still as well on the other side of the map.
And
it's
know
a
that we also
counter.
have Kimi still open up right now because we've been seeing a lot of the bans from Kimi as well, right? They've been denying. Kimi is one of the mid lanes that it has been from, like we've talked about, it's been years and years of Kimi being denied completely to a point that it gives a little bit of leeway from the rest of the teams. But with the actions coming in from FUT Esports, Granger will be deprioritized as well as Suyo. I think this is a steal, definitely a steal, because we saw how Zeph was using Suyo to a really good content from the side of ONIC.
Yeah, and now FUT Esports, you did mention the Kimi. They still have room for the Kimi in the mid lane with the Granger already in the gold, so they're not going to be going for the 3 marksman lineup, but you're at least going to get 2 of the 3 that usually pop up there with the Kimi and the Granger. Oh no, Seth got the Fanny.
We completely forgot about the Fanny.
Oh no.
Recognized by RRQ's Sutsujin. This is it's a huge hero for
It
Sev.
never went through, right? Yesterday we didn't even see any Fanny gameplay, and today finally we saw one,
Yes, it was banned away from her on multiple occasions.
Oh.
And considering that it's 3rd pick in the first phase, they do have time to take away the counters towards the Fanny. And luckily enough, remember, this is FUT locking in the Granger, so we won't be able to see a Moskov in the gold lane for FUT to try and alleviate that pressure that the Fanny can have.
Oh, and they also dish out a really good ban with
That's
the
it.
Kufra. I wouldn't be surprised if ONIC even just decide to ban out the Cho as well. Or maybe just anyone with suppress that can lock down the Fanny would be really, really good right now. But oh my goodness, there's a reason why we're reacting this way. If you missed stream A yesterday, or excuse me, stream A, Sev's Fanny was highlighted. Eternal already touched on it with professionals from the other teams also praising the Fanny of Sev. So you know what, I will just say, paint me excited, because anyone who gets hyped up as a Fanny god, well, you gotta be ready to show it.
I mean, we've seen it already from MSCUIs, right? Like, the guys was able to actually put out a really good show. I mean, talking from the Malaysian division, right? Sikis was well known with how he used the Fanny itself. Now, the question is, the more that you actually give those leeways to the side of ONIC, this is where the fine line of FUT Esport, you have to make sure that you don't want to give so much mobility-wise to ONIC. But again, you talked about show, and there you go. They're not going to allow anyone to get in the way of Fanny's mobility.
However, there is one thing that is important to note about the Fanny. So, after the recent changes towards the Fanny, she's not as, I would say, mobile on the map because her energy cost is humongous.
Yeah.
Right? I think it takes... She roams from like one point of the map to half point of the map, and in certain occasions, depending on how many, what do you call it?
Steel cable?
Steel cables that you utilize, her energy depletes. So she's very blue buff reliant at that. So I'm hoping that with the aggression that we know coming from FUT, especially in the early stages, that could be a potential answer to the Fanny in the early game.
Hey, look, a Harith turn now. Finally. Like, you get the Harith to show up. But yeah, this Fanny is going to be a problem. At this point, they're forced to pick up something like a Franco or a Kaja to lock it down. You can't rely on jungle or EXP to have lockdown because you already showed the Suyo and the Uranus. It was the perfect pickup in the perfect slot for ONIC. FUT might end up here with a significantly weaker front line though. Yes, they have the Uranus on their side, but one of the biggest issues with the Uranus is he lacks crowd control.
Okay. I don't know if this is a hot take or probably you guys will be denying it, but okay. I was about to say Vexana because probably it's one of my heroes that I actually put out as a favorite. But yeah, Jushin as one of the also ultimate or probably another option of mid laner itself. But again, I feel like is it going to be enough though with Jushin right at the fine line? Because we did saw on our second match itself, this is where like yes, Navi was able to actually maneuver from every motion of the Jushin being used, even no matter how hard you lock on it, they'll be able to get away. Oh no, it's getting even worse with Akai.
Yeah.
Your favorite panda is back again.
ONIC just pulled off what I feel like a near perfect draft. Real quick, Eterna, we got 20 seconds.
I think I understand, right? They want to have a mid lane that can control and dive early. So they're not looking for lockdown against the Fanny. They're looking to invade and take away these resources. But with the lockdown coming from Akai now, alongside the Badang and the Farsa, will they be able to achieve that?
All right, it's caster time.
I like it. It's time for the casters to come in. Once again, it's me, Naisu, joined here with Brigida to bring you game number 2 ahead of us. It's match point right now for ONIC. This is a spicy draft we have here, simply because the panel talked about it a lot. Brigida, it's the Fanny. The Fanny's coming through for Sev, and we know that this has been talked about from even some of the most known pros around, especially Indonesia.
So many pro players that most of the fans probably look up to acknowledge Sev and how good she plays the Fanny. So now you're gonna start to wonder how FUT is gonna respond to this, because it's not just the Fanny. They did not stop with the Fanny. The Akai makes an appearance yet again, and I'd say one of the good things about the Akai is that in the early game it actually tends to hurt a lot. But wait a minute, they actually tried to stay as aggressive. So this is ONIC clearly trying to deny whatever FUT Esports wants to do in terms of delaying the Fanny.
Yeah, they gotta protect all the buffs. Wow. Nohana.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
I told you it hurts.
It's a Uranus, so you're going to be fine. Seb, though, will get her buff, so this has to be a team effort, and that's exactly what... Whoa! Still, whoa!
I told you it hurts!
It does!
Plus the concussive blast.
I was going to say, plus there's the concussive blast there. Oh, Yippee. Burns the flicker, so she'll be fine. Stand still, too, as that shot comes through. Oh, mid lane.
Livy has the wings by wings, so will somehow get to escape, but Sev, are they able to escape? Sev, look at that wall! Oh, help Sev so much in that moment.
I haven't gotten a chance to finish what I was going to say earlier. I was like, it's a team effort. Look at this, they're still going.
I don't think FUT Esports plan is working. It's going sideways for FUT Esports now, and look at Sev just flying over everyone. Somehow, Nora secures the kill, however. doesn't change the fact that it's a 4-1 right now in favor of ONIC.
They had to stop it. They had to stop Sev from getting to that point where it would be a snowball already. But there's been a whole lot, as you mentioned, 4 kills on the board. You're finding yourselves almost at 1,000 gold lead at this point. And yes, that might not be too big, but that's the early game.
Yep.
That's how much they've been throwing in response here to FUT. The fight for the turtle.
Navalera might go down, but actually gets to escape, however. And look at Poe. Might just take out Mireia, and it successfully does. Seth makes it just in time, and there's no one stopping her from securing the objective. There's the lantern flare from Zendaya. Nora might just try to take her on. Unohana blocking the backlines too, and it's not just blocking that she's doing. She actually takes down Libby, and Nora delivers the final blow onto Navalera as well.
Great response once again from FUT Esports. You still have to respect the damage that a Uranus can do. You can see that she's got the Brave Smite emblem, she's even got the Festival of Blood, so she's got respectable poke and damage when she's around multiple members like this. I mean, multiple low health bars that she can go for, even burning some of the flickers, and then Nora's there to kind of catch them with the power nature there. So great overall fighting that we're seeing from FUT Esports.
They're gonna try to go for it again. Honestly, the saddest thing about what happened in that clash was Mieko was able to join, but was not able to get an assist.
Yeah. A little bit too late to the party,
So she traveled that far only to get nothing. But still, somehow, for esports, they're still able to keep themselves in the game. Yes, Navalera is having a pretty good time here in terms of the EXP lane, but hold on, in the mid lane, Poe might just get taken out. That's a shutdown. Now finally, even though Mieko wasn't able to get an assist earlier, that's a shutdown kill that she secured.
Yeah, and it went to her, right? So that makes up for it. So she gets herself on the board, gets a little bit of extra gold, and they pretty much just dwindled down any of that gold lead that ONIC had built in those first couple minutes of the game. So this is the best thing that FUT Esports could look for, based on the fact that they're playing against a Fanny like this. A Blade of Pepsi is going to be picked up, though, so now that burst damage potential is going to be a little bit more of a threat, especially Mieko.
Oh, that's Mieko.
Oh,
Sev's trying to take her down. At least forces out the flicker, but that could have been dangerous. Mieko was all alone in that particular area, so they could have really maximized the damage, but Mireia, for the 3rd time in a row, gets taken down by ONIC. Look at the heavy spin. Knocking in Nora. Unohana trying to distract Libby though. But they're okay with this. They got the most important member of FUT Esports out already. Sev already catching up. But this might just be it for now.
It's going to be it. Turtles up, though. Second one of the game, and FUT Esports will try to get some control back onto this. But like you mentioned from Mireia, she has been having a really difficult time. 0-3 on the Suyo. Not sure how she's going to fare into this fight. Zom Force.
Oh my goodness, a flicker immediately forced out of Zendaya, but Yippee though already used the Salmon Force quite early on. Unohana trying to defend as much as she can, but 3 members get caught in the fist break fist grab, and there's the follow-up from the Ferret Airstrike as well. 2 members already down. Mireia might just be next.
She's nowhere to go.
Everybody's gonna help one another to take her down.
Oh, and Sev just went up top. The rest of the team here in the mid lane. Great timings just on all the ultimates that they threw into this fight. Unohana is going to try to do her best to hold on to this, but the turret's going to go down. Dominant Force drop. Mieko.
Mieko's all alone. Does she really want to take them on? Livy, it seems like she's just trying to look for the right positioning, but they just decide to disengage because Nora and Zendaya are already close by. That was... It's so hard to move as a frontliner if you're FUT Esports, because there are just so many layers of crowd control that Navalera and Poe could offer. I mean, why is Poe 5-1-4 on the Badang roll?
That's a great question, and a lot of it again is the synergy between these heroes work out really well. For Poe to go ahead and set things up with a fist break, fist crack combination, but then, not only does that give an opportunity for Seb to connect to that wall, but also a feathered airstrike. It's a lot easier to just kind of lay it down into that setup.
Yes! Oh! All I could do was
blink or you'll miss it.
All I could do was scream her name. There was... Oh my gosh, how do you... She had the flicker even, but there was not enough reaction time.
Wasn't enough, and that is only going to get worse here. Livy's gonna flicker out. Nora on the chase.
Oh, no wings by wings just yet, but Navillera protects Livy, and right after taking down Zendaya, Zev works on Nora next. Unohana also gets to receive the better airstrike, and they turn things around just like that. Even down mid, Mieko might just fall too. Poe on her 6th kill in this game.
They are everywhere right now. ONIC finding wins on all corners of the map. And there's exactly the reason why everybody has been talking about Sev's Fanny, even down to the pros and all around Indonesia and the world respect it because, and it's funny because as we look at this, it's not just her, right? Anytime it's a Fanny that is impressive, it's not just the Fanny that makes it that way. It's the team, the way they play around this. Even this, the fact that they were able to save them. Oh, hold on.
And once more, Poe gets shut down, but the Zaman Force is there from Yippee, and they might just take everyone down because Sev also catches up. Livy trying to chase after Unohana, but they change targets. They look for Nora instead. Curse of the Crow might just make it. But will they have enough resources to take Nora down? They're chasing after her. They're not letting her go, but she's just utilizing the brushes, but it's not gonna be enough. One more hit, and Yippee takes her down. Oh my goodness, and Sev all alone taking on 3 members of FUT Esports. Nearly even got a kill out of that.
And that's the problem with a Fanny that is snowballed to all control right now. It's too much. I mean, 1v3, looking at this too. She has a Malefic Roar, the Blade of FC. She's still working on the 3rd item, but she's able to do that. And even so, as we get further into this game, now Yippee is wanting a bite of the action. You see her being a little more aggressive, flickering forward into the Zaman Force if she has to. And so ONIC has definitely found a good lead to work with. 3,000 gold up. Poe is a problem too. It's quite crazy to think, you know, Thunderbelt and Oracle, and you're 6-2 and 5.
If I were Poe, I wouldn't feel so bad about picking up a damage item right now.
Yeah.
Just to amplify everything, because they're just this much ahead anyway. They can apply so much pressure. She has the same gold as FUT Esports XP laner. But speaking of XP laner, Sev looking for Mieko the gold laner. Zendaya already uses the Crimson Beacon, but Navillera, even though in that very dangerous sequence, was still able to heavy spin her way out.
Yeah, it's so tough. FUT Esports finds some of these moments where it looks like, okay, they'll capitalize on some of the kills. They'll be able to get that to happen, but they just don't have the layering on the right timings just yet. Mieko even having a couple kills is great, but ultimately a big part of your damage. Oh no, hold on. Mieko, as I was just mentioning, run!
No way! Yippee still caught up, and Sev also nearly took down Zendaya. Nora will be the double kill, and another fist break fist grab onto Mireia. 3 members immediately deleted from FUT Esports.
Oh, it's getting very bleak here for FUT Esports. You can just see everybody from ONIC wanting these kills, wanting that moment for them, and this is going to be a lord in their hands. FUT Esports struggling to really find a way to get this game under control and find a way to actually fight back. I mean, that's what I was saying. You know, you get forced in these situations. As we take a look at the instant replay, this feathered airstrike, finding Mieko to get her down to this, and then Yippee flickering forward amidst it all, just does not care. Play against this, we're gonna...
The lack of crowd control is really getting to FUT Esports right now. Like, they have all those tanky frontliners. They have the Hilda, they have the Uranus. But who's gonna hold and lock down the members of ONIC Esports who are the members of ONIC who just decide to dive in? And there are multiple members who actually decide to dive in. It's either Sev, it's either Poe, even Navillera from time to time. So this is gonna be a very crucial defense considering the gold lead. A 6k gold lead that's in the hands of ONIC.
Yeah, shields are gonna pop. Lord is taken care of, but again, ONIC, this is what they were looking for, and again, I think you have to really look at how How's this possible for FUT Esports? Whoa, Navalera.
That was a flicker and a heavy spin. Nora gets
Garage.
caught but has the revitalized. Navalera gets punished instead, but Sam looking for all the targets. Yippee with a double kill, but Zendaya gets to shut down the Fanny as well. Uno Hana right in front of everyone, trying to defend this as much as they can. There goes the fist break.
Oh,
But are they
Mieko's
still
there.
gonna go for this? They will! Godlike for Yippee!
Mieko!
And might just actually take out Mieko, but it's a shutdown instead!
Oh, Mieko so close to dying, but she'll stay alive, and really ONIC just went in. They forced that fight. They didn't even get the turret. They lose a ton of bodies. They give up a ton of gold to FUT Esports, so that's great for them. We'll see if they can go ahead and continue on. Again, Mariah's been having one tough time in this game. Really difficult for her. You're seeing the gap between the junglers here, but nonetheless, one of the great things is Mieko might be that kind of saving grace in a way to just make things happen. You know, she's got the Sky Piercer and a couple of the crucial items. I'm not sure if she's going to finish that Rose Gold tier 2, but the positioning and her ability to move around these fights is what's really important here. And who is going to do that? Like you mentioned, Nora and Unohana are that front line to go ahead and give that kind of space for Mieko to move around.
Especially if they make use of this, in a way, an unfortunate situation where they're in, that they have to keep themselves safe under the turret, so they can find opportunities to punish those little mistakes that ONIC might do. And I don't even think you could call the setup a mistake. It was just they actually had that much damage that ONIC probably didn't expect. But speaking of damage, Mireya! What an outplay!
Oh my goodness, Mireya, able to stay alive with that. Again, Sev will just do that time and time again, but Mariah's just trying to hold on, honestly. She's just trying to stay alive. This Lord is up, so there's going to be a reset here. ONIC will get in positioning. Again, it's still having the lead, still having the firepower advantage too. You can see this damage dealt. Yippee up at the top, Sev there trailing, and Livy, all three from ONIC, and that's going to be a Lord easily secured. There was a play trying to be made up top, maybe to push in that tier 2 turret at least to get something. As Mieko will go ahead and work on that, but they'll have to get back to base to get ready to defend, because ONIC is already knocking on the doors here.
Okay, wait. Oh! So we'll be seeing if whether or not something comes out of what happened there later on, but that was such an outplay from Mireya. I'm surprised that she's able to keep herself alive even after all those cables which got thrown out by Sev, but this is gonna be the real test for FUT Esports if they're able to hold it out long enough still, and if Mieko also gets to keep herself alive despite the attempts that can come in from ONIC.
It's gonna be a tough one to defend here. The waves be crashing in. Lord making its way up top. So FUT Esports is gonna have to deal with this the best they can. Now, how do they do that? Mieko's got to play from that back line, shooting off the Rhapsodies and the Destinatas here. Lord's gonna go in with that charge. We'll see what the angle ONIC takes. Feathered Airstrike going to be dropped down already. They're forcing the fight.
Is Unohana going to be the first target here for ONIC? It seems like they're not going to fully commit just yet. Sev shows up as well, but they might just be able to defend the Lord. They get to take things one by one. But what is going to be the plan? Sev flies in, but there's no one. Again, no crowd control to capture just yet.
No crowd control to capture them. They hold on. Into the game they go, but they still want to fight.
Oh, there's crowd control coming in from ONIC. However, Mieko flickers out to keep herself safe. Nora, will she be able to survive this? Probably not. Yippee takes her down. An immediate pickoff for FUT Esports.
Oh, down at one member. Mid-turret's going to be the focus now. ONIC might look to just go for more. Sev taking a couple shots.
Oh, those are 3 members. That just can't take the damage coming in from Sev. They're trying their best to defend, but Mireya nearly gets taken out by Yippee. Now they gain access to the base. Zendaya taken out by the Feathered Airstrike. Unohana as well will not be tanky enough to defend. It's only Mieko and Mireya trying to keep this game alive, but even they can't do it anymore as ONIC deliver the second sweep of the day here in Stream A.
And ONIC will get it done once again. Just like we saw from the previous series from Indonesia, they will go forward with a sweep. And again, it's just a showcase of world-class play. I mean, this Fanny, the team that supported Sev on the Fanny, is what was really impressive here. Brigitte, time and time again, we saw that game unfold, but provide avenues for Sev to shine. Yippee took it in her own hands too. A lot of times being aggressive with the flickers forward. And again, it's just a great showcase of how strong they are. Again, both these